Welcome to this episode of Robert's Creative Chronicles. So today we'll be solving this question, which states that find the critical number and the corresponding critical points of the following curves, I and II. So we'll start with the first one. F of x is equal to x raised to the power of 4 minus 32x. So now we'll first find the derivative of this curve. The derivative is given by f prime x, which is equal to what? 4x cubed minus 32. So now to find the critical number, we are going to replace this x with x naught or x0. So we are going to say f prime of x naught is equal to 4x naught cubed minus 32. So now we are going to equate this derivative to 0, and we are going to factorize the equation, or in other words, we are going to solve the equation. So we'll say this is equal to 0. So now we'll solve this equation. This becomes 4x naught cubed is equal to, if you take this to the other side, you get this equal to 32. So we'll divide both sides by 4 here. So it will be over 4 over 4. So 32 divided by 4. 32 divided by 4 is what? Is 8. So this becomes what? X naught cube is equal to 8. So now we'll take the cube root of both sides. This becomes what? X naught is equal to 2, because the cube root of 8 is 2. So our critical number is 2. Now to find the corresponding critical point, the critical point is given by P, the critical number, comma, then the function of the critical number. So now this is equal to, the critical number is what? Is 2, then to be function of 2. So we'll substitute 2 into this function, which is the original function. If you substitute 2 here, this becomes 2 raised to the power of 4 minus 32, 2. So this becomes 2 raised to the power of 4 minus 32 times 2. This becomes negative 48. So now this critical point becomes this 2 comma negative 48. So this is the critical number and this is the critical point. So we have successfully solved the first one. Let's move to the second one. So now this is the function of x now. F of x is equals to x squared, then cube root of, this becomes x squared 2x minus 5 raised to the power of 1 over 3. This is the same thing as the cube root of this. So we'll differentiate this and we'll use product rule. So it becomes f prime of x is equals to what? Derivative of this times this function then plus this function times the derivative of this, and this is a function of a function, so we'll differentiate the core first, which is 2, and the derivative of the external function, then the derivative of the external function is what? It's 1 over 3 2x minus 5, then 1 over 3 minus 1, which is negative 2 over 3. Then we reduce this. This becomes 2x minus 5 plus this becomes what? 2x squared. Then we can express this function, and that way it becomes 2x minus 5 raised to the power of 2 over 3. So then this is also a fraction, so we can express it over 1. Then the LCM of this is what? Is this function. So it's the same thing as 2x minus 5 raised to the power of 2 over 3. Then this times this is what? This times this is 6x. Then this function times this function is 2x minus 5 raised to the power of 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3, which is the same thing as 3 over 3, which is 1. So it's 2x minus 5, that is raised to the power of 1. Then this times this divided by this is still 2x squared. So plus 2x squared. Then we can open this fraction. Then we can open this function. So f prime of x is equals to what? This is 6. This is 6x times 2x, which is what? This is 12x squared. X squared minus 30x. This times this is minus 30x, then plus 2x squared over 2x minus 5, 2 over 3, which is equals to, this is 14x squared minus 30x over 2x minus 5, 2 over 3. Then this becomes what? If you factorize this, 2x will enter both of these, then it will be 2x. This becomes what? 7x minus 15 over 2x minus 5, 2 over 3. So this is the function we are going to equate to 0. But before we find the critical number, we will change x to x naught. So now we will say f prime x naught is equals to this 2x naught 7x naught minus 15 over 2x naught minus 5, 2 over 3. So now we will equate the numerator and the denominator of this function to 0. So let's first equate the numerator to 0, which is the top one, to be 2x naught 7x naught minus 15 is equal to 0. Then so this one becomes 2x naught is equal to 0, or 7x naught minus 15 is equal to 0. So from here, x naught is equal to 0 when you divide both sides by 2, or here will be 7x naught is equal to 15. So therefore x naught is equal to 15 over 7. Over 7 is 2.14. Then we equate the denominator to 0. This becomes 2x naught minus 5, 2 over 3 is equal to 0. So we'll divide both sides by 3 here to be 2x naught minus 5. 2 over 3 is equal to 0. So now we can times the powers of both sides by 3 over 2, so that here will become 1 and here will still become 0. So here if you times this power by 3 over 2, here it becomes 2x naught minus 5 and this still becomes 0. So 2x naught is equal to 5. Therefore x naught is equal to 5 over 2. So x naught is equal to 2.5. 0, 2.14 and 2.5. But we'll find the function of all this so that we can get the critical points. So the function of x naught, which is the function of 0, is equals to, that means we'll substitute 0 in this function. So let's substitute it. This becomes 0 square. Then there's an option for cube root here. Shift. Then this. So this becomes 2 times 0 minus 5. So this is 0 square. Then cube root of 2 times 0 minus 5. This becomes 0 still. Then the next one, 2.14. Then here 2.14. This is negative 4.10. Negative 4.10. Then the final one, 2.5. Is 0. It's also 0 like the first one. So the first point will be the critical number here is 0. The function is 0. Here the critical number is 2.14. The function is negative 4.10. And finally, the final one, 2.5 and 0. So here are the critical points. So here are the critical numbers 0, 2.14 and 2.5, and here are the critical points. So I hope you understood this episode. If you have any question, feel free to contact me using my WhatsApp or email written in the description below, or you can write them in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell to get notified as soon as I drop a new video. Thanks.